Nothing like making a Pikmin 4 wishlist 3 months after the trailer announcement. So I decided to make a quick video about some things I would like to see in Pikmin 4. So let's jump straight into it. First off, I think Pikmin 4 should be a longer game than Pikmin 3. Pikmin 2 took 20 hours to get everything in the campaign done compared to Pikmin 3, where all of the fruits could be gathered in half that time easily. I am not someone who generally obsesses over game length because I care more about a game being, good. But I still think Pikmin 3 was too short, all things considered. Pikmin 1 was even shorter, but that game was far more replayable than Pikmin 3 ever was. Plus, it wasn't the first game in the series, so it has a bit of a pass when it comes to being light on content. Considering that Nintendo is not interested in bringing back that arcade-style gameplay design from the first game, I think Pikmin 4 should be longer. Apparently the reason why 3 is shorter was to appeal to speedrunners, but if they are dead set on making the game speedrun friendly, why not just make the main goal obtainable in a short amount of time, but have a very beefy post-game as well. That way you can fulfill both of these desires, which is basically what Pikmin 2 did. You can pay off the company's debt rather quickly, but there was still a beefy post-game you could do afterwards. In fact, the last area would not even be unlocked until you paid off all of the debt. So yeah, I want a longer campaign than what we got in Pikmin 3, or at least more content overall. I would like Pikmin 4 to be more challenging than Pikmin 3. I'm thinking of difficulty along the lines something from the original game. Pikmin 3 Deluxe added Ultra Spicy mode, but that did not make the game that much harder due to the fact that the fundamental design of the game was to be easy. So surface level modifications like limiting the number of Pikmin available or cutting the amount of juice one can get in half doesn't do a whole lot to fix the issue. For example, enemies were designed to make deathless runs easier because apparently that was near the top of their priority list. Some ideas that I have to accomplish this goal would be to make enemies tougher and hazards a bit more dangerous. Nowhere near Pikmin 2 electricity levels of danger, just something that actually poses at least some threat. Also making it harder to collect certain collectibles in the post-game that I mentioned would also help. Pikmin 4 could still have multiple difficulty options, but I think they need to find a better way to handle them. One idea that I think would be cool is to have a night mode, where you play the game during the night time. In this mode you would face a remixed version of the campaign where the placement of entities would be rearranged, enemies would have different behaviors that make them more dangerous, and maybe modifications to the layout of the maps themselves as well. As for a in-universe explanation for all of this, maybe just say that the ship needs to charge via solar power, but it can only do that in the upper atmosphere cause reasons. This entire thing is more like a new game mode rather than a simple difficulty selection, but still, it is something I would like to see. One of the things I hope to see is a return to the less linear design that was present in Pikmin 1 and to a lesser extent Pikmin 2. I think this would greatly improve the game's replayability, which Pikmin 3 didn't really have due to the much more linear nature of the game. I feel like Pikmin 3 linearity was partially due to the game's bigger emphasis on narrative. However, implementing a narrative in a non-linear game has been done many times before, and I'm sure Nintendo can do the same for Pikmin 4. I think adding caves back into Pikmin 4 would be a good idea, but only if they're done in a different way from Pikmin 2. My idea is to use them as side content that is meant to be a gauntlet with rewards at the end to help with the main quest of the game, such as having rare Pikmin only be obtainable through them, just like in the second game. This is the best way to go about it, as it won't oversaturate the game with them while still making them a worthwhile piece of content. To be honest though, I do not see caves actually returning, but hey, this is a list of things I want to see, not a list of predictions. It is pretty obvious that red, yellow, and blue Pikmin will be present in the next game. As for rock and winged Pikmin, they are probably going to be dropped out of the main campaign in favor of some new Pikmin types, and will probably only appear in the side modes, if at all. As for the new types, I really don't have many ideas. As long as they are implemented well, I am pretty much up for anything. However, I think yellows will probably have another ability shakeup, as they have throughout the series. They were not the most useful, and in the cases where they were useful, it was really forced. So I hope they find something that works well for them. Also, I think reds could be given another secondary ability due to the fact that they have kind of fallen behind in terms of usefulness compared to some of the newer Pikmin. It is a safe bet that challenge mode will be returning in some shape or form. If caves are brought back, then including some form of Pikmin 2's style challenge mode would be nice into addition of the Pikmin 3 style or some new style of challenge mode. However, I don't think that the boss mission mode should return. Each individual boss in Pikmin 3 was pretty straightforward to defeat, and the fights weren't that long either. I think either creating a boss rush of some kind or implementing the bosses in regular challenge mode stages would be a better option. Based on some of the things I have heard, it seems like Pikmin 4 will have a bigger emphasis on multiplayer. I think this means that the campaigns will be designed with playing in co-op mode in mind, which is not a bad idea at all. As for the competitive side modes, I want to see more than a single one. Maybe just allow people to select from a variety of win conditions, rather than just having the main win condition alongside some type of capture the flag victory. Maybe we can have objectives such as raising the most Pikmin or eliminating the most enemies, stuff like that. Then there is online. Yeah, online for co-op and competitive modes should be available and preferably good, but let's be real here for a moment. That last part is probably not going to happen. So that is my list of desires for Pikmin 4. To be honest, I don't see a lot of these happening, but who knows. What are your desires for Pikmin 4? Anyways, have a happy new year.